Another pleasant good evening to you from Noblesville High School. We're back for a second day. More girls varsity semi-state action in Lacrosse. Our first game of two on this cloudy Wednesday in Noblesville will feature the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals in Class 2A on IndianaSRN this evening. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local hometown John Deere dealer, open since 1955 with 5 locations in central Indiana. Boilermakers Local 374, a union representing skilled workers in Indiana. Boilermaker Advantage. Burtner Electric, spark with confidence, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893. We've been here to help, thanks to caring individuals. Aspen Creek Grill, large selection of food made from scratch and fairly priced. 2 great locations, one here in Noblesville and another in Greenwood. The Morales Group, our mission is to build better futures one story at a time. LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy's mission is to positively impact students, schools, and communities. Contact them at lifewise.org. Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts. Ref Reps. Our mission is to help the world see the game through the eyes of the officials. And by the IndianaSRN Sports page. Sports from border to border and coast to coast. Jarrett Lewis with you, along with Coach Laura Rogers. We're back. It's another day. It looks to have similar conditions today as well. Weather-wise, cloudy. We saw a little bit of sun peeking through, but looks to be another one of those cloudy days with temperatures in the mid-60s, and those temps will fall as the game goes on. But nonetheless, I think we'll see some more firepower, kind of like what we saw yesterday in our 2 great games in 1A and 2A. We're back to start things off in 2A action. The winner of this one will get Carmel on Saturday, the defending state champs. But these 2 teams they've played each other already before, Laura, but we're probably going to see a lot of scoring like we did last night.
Yeah, I think we'll have a lot of fireworks tonight, a lot of familiarity here, both in location being neighbors, and some of these Guerin Catholic athletes grow up in HSE schools and play HSE youth together and then head to Guerin for high school. So a lot of familiarity on both sides of the ball. Great matchup earlier in the season. Guerin with the 12-10 edge. So very well matched, very high scoring. Should be a great night of lacrosse.
We'll start with Guerin and go a little bit by the numbers with them. 17-1 this season. Their lone loss to Carmel, and that was a close one, 6-7. That was way back in April too, on April Fool's Day. 6-7, that final score. So really one of those lower scoring games, defensive battle that Carmel ends up just edging them slightly. And then since that loss, Guerin has had an 8-game win streak. They've scored 12 goals in each of those 8 games, and they hadn't given up more than 6 goals to their opponents in either of the last 5 games. So this is a team that's pretty well coached. Obviously, state champions in 2022 and then again in 23, looking to go back with a nice balance of offensive power and good stout defense.
Yeah, and they also traveled out of state to kind of beef up and challenge their schedule and had some impressive wins over Upper Arlington and Worthington, who are both from that strong Columbus, Ohio region. Coach Bellflower, I'll have them ready, and they've got some really nice attack players. Gabby Deere coming in. She's committed to Siena in Northern New York Division I. She's got 70 goals on the year. And then probably one of the strongest sophomores in the state, 55 goals and 23 assists so far this year for Caroline Ford. So look to call that number 10 quite often tonight.
A really good goalie in net tonight, Audrey Pape, just the junior. She will be in net trying to limit the attack of this Hamilton Southeastern offense, who comes into this one 14-3. They're on a 5-game win streak. Trying to make a deep run, head to the state championship game. In their win streak, they've had some pretty high scoring affairs too, including 2 games where they scored 25 and 22. In their last 5 games, they have scored 19, or they've had 5 games, total this season where they've scored 19 goals or more. So this is a team that can, if if they're going to get scored on, they can dish it to you right back and awfully quick, too.
Yeah, cruised through Evansville Memorial in the round of 16 and then defeated Cathedral at home on that stormy night 2 weeks ago to earn their place here in the Final Four. We'll look to call the number 22 quite a bit, Miss Sarah Gastineau. Butler Bulldog recruit, got a nice righty shot, so I'm sure we'll be calling her number quite a few times tonight.
We're going to meet the starting lineups first. It'll be for Hamilton Southeastern, so we'll go to our Noblesville PA announcer.
Number 8, Anna Silver. Number 12, Reese Bradley. Number 14, Edie Fisher. Number 19, Reagan Jones. Number 21, Olivia Bradley. Number 22, Sarah Gastineau. Number 24, Emma Reichert. Number 27, Zizi Sundling. Number 29, Nora Brandenburg. And in goal, number 31, Ellie Philhauer. Coach Flagle assisted by John Kim and Neil Fisher. And now let's extend a warm welcome for the home team, Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles, and their head coach, Joe Bellflower. Here's Coach Bellflower's starting lineup for the Golden Eagles. Number 3, Gabby Deere. Number 4, Lucy Esposito. Number 7, Claire Flanagan. Number 10, Caroline Ford. Number 13, Isabella Galvin. Number 14, Sophia Galvin. Number 20, Jane Klein. Number 21, Lila Jones. Number 22, Mallory Agati. Number 23, Ella Capofari. Number 27, Grayson Navarro. And in goal, number 77, Audrey Pape. Coach Bellflower assisted by Gary Galvin and Austin Helm.
Oh, no, maybe I did. All right, so there you go, the starting lineups for Hamilton Southeastern and Guerin Catholic. The Royals will be in all blue, the Golden Eagles in all white. We'll be back to get this one going in Class 2A semi-state action between Hamilton Southeastern and Guerin Catholic from Noblesville High School.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
All right, welcome back to Noblesville High School Semi-State Girls Lacrosse in Class 2A. It's the two-time state champions in 2022 and 2023, that being Guerin Catholic, 17-1 on this season. Awfully impressive, trying to head back to the state championship game and take on the defending state champs in Carmel. But in their way, we'll have Hamilton Southeastern, both teams riding a nice little win streak. Teams that are capable of lighting up the scoreboard. We kind of saw yesterday how getting off to a good start proved to be beneficial. I think both teams who scored the first goal ended up scoring once or twice after that before they allowed a goal and ended up cruising to victory. So could we see a similar situation here today, a fast start paying off for your squad?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I had the fun of facing the Guerin Catholic Eagles with my team myself a couple weeks ago, and their midfield really shines. So I expect them to get out fast. You'll also see some really hard midfield traps on that ride. So I think they're ready to play.
The Royals are out on the field. The Golden Eagles break their huddle. And we'll find out soon who's going to be in the middle with this opening face-off. Before we get there, we have to wish a happy birthday to someone up in this booth. I can't go on any longer without mentioning that. Coach is a nice 26 years old. It's their birthday today, so make sure you wish her a happy birthday.
Thank you, Jarrett. Plus or minus a couple decades there, but anyway, happy to be here with you guys enjoying the sport that we all love. Shout out to our officials tonight. We've got Elizabeth Wiley, April Sherman, and Aaron Abbott on the field, and Mr. Dan Yohe running the box alternate substitution area. Let's have a great game.
Let's do it. Here we go. A meeting at midfield for the Golden Eagles. It's Claire Flanagan, the sophomore. HSC will go with Anna Silver, a senior. And we'll get a good ball. We'll get the sticks parallel with the 50. And a good showing, too, between both schools, HSC and Guerin Catholic. There's the whistle. There's the ball in the air. And an initial pickup for Guerin Catholic. They'll start things off going from left to right in a hurry as Caroline Ford already towards the cage. See some contact and an early whistle just 15 seconds into this one.
Yeah, quick little foul there on the double team is going to put Caroline Ford in that second inside hash for the right-handed free position attempt.
Free positions could be costly. And it was for HSC that time as Caroline Ford puts one up on the board. 31 seconds into this one. Golden Eagles start things off hot.
Yeah, and if you're the Royals, you just got to flush that one. Quick start, it happens. Again, nerves are probably high here in this Final Four contest, so do that next right move, get the ball on your stick. We like to say get a touch and kind of settle into this game. So here you got to flush that one and move on.
For the Royals, for the draw.
Another draw between Silver for HSC, Flanagan on the side of Guerin Catholic. Another high ball. About 4 or 5 girls going after this one. Tripped up at the 35-yard line, but getting her feet back is Flanagan. Another offensive possession early for the Golden Eagles. On the drive, Ford dishes it off. In between two defenders, nice save by HSC. That was Klein who had the shot and picked up by the Royals, Olivia Bradley.
Yeah, looking for that top dodge, and when the double came, had a nice little draw and dump off to that right-hand side. I'd expect we'll see that again.
Ellie Philhauer is in the cage for HSC. We get a hold committed by the Golden Eagles.
Guerin known for their midfield ride. Let's see how HSC handles it.
HSC 14-3. Here's a turnover. Hitting it with the stick and covering some ground the other way, losing it, but getting possession right back. Caroline Ford. But Ford has been active early, trying to get another one, and she does. Ford makes it 2 for 2 and gives the Golden Eagles a 2-0 lead, not even 2 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah, Caroline Ford, the crafty sophomore, major starter and contributor last year just as a freshman for Guerin Catholic. So we'll be calling that number 10 all night.
Early possession has favored Guerin Catholic. We mentioned a fast start. The Golden Eagles have done just that.
Silver, number 7, Flanagan.
Guerin Catholic had wins in sectional play over Park Tudor and then Center Grove to get to this spot. Here's another offensive try for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, 3 draw wins in a row for the Golden Eagles, each a little different, but getting that ball up and away to those speedy midfielders.
They'll work things around the horn. Everybody getting a touch.
HSE content to kind of sit on that 8 and a nice little man-to-man and wait to see what Guerin brings.
Deer will trot around, go behind the cage. Looking for a pass. She does. Sends it over to Flanagan. Flanagan going between 2 and 3 defenders. Shot misses, but it's still in the hands of Guerin.
Number 3, Gabby Deer, known for her crafty work from X, or the crease rolls as we would say.
Took a lot of contact.
2 flags fly in the backfield. That flag is a held whistle. It means that the officials saw the foul, but it's a slow whistle allowing the player to continue on to goal if they so choose. They can drop the ball and come back for the free position, or just keep going if the foul was not hard enough to affect their path of travel.
It'll be a free position for Gabby Deer. Could really set the tone early with another goal. Deer staying patient, and ultimately a good save from Philhauer.
Maybe waited a little too long on that free position, trying to draw Ellie Philhauer to the near post and just ran out of angle.
A pass towards midfield, exchanges sticks a few times, a whistle, but continue for Ford. Ford looking for a shot, draws a double team.
Yeah, if I'm HSE and I'm planning for this game, Guerin's got a multi-prong attack. You have to be ready for the strong top dodge of Caroline Ford and Jane Klein, and then also look for Gabby Deer on those crease rolls, so they can really attack at you from all angles.
The speed, the shiftiness, a good pass there, just couldn't hold on to it, was Klein. So maybe HSC can put together something offensively for the first time.
And again, not playing for over 10 days can take its toll as well, as our Elite 8 round was the weekend before Memorial Day. So sometimes there's a little bit of rust to shake off to get that competitive juices flowing.
Edie Fisher brought it across, and now it's behind the cage. Gastineau is back there. Back to Edie Fisher, and could not get a clean shot off, but she does swipe it out of the stick of Ford. The Guerin Catholic sideline, you can hear him all the way from up here. Here's Gabby Deer.
HSC trying to pressure that ball, all for naught, as the speedy Gabby Deer carries it into the scoring end.
Here's another one of those, slow it down, let's get something developed, let's get everybody in position before we look to attack. Golden Eagles trying to put a third goal up on the scoreboard at the halfway mark of quarter number 1.
Many of these Golden Eagles have played together for years through the Our Lady of Mount Carmel program, so they're very familiar with each other and very comfortable in their sets.
Flanagan dishes it off. Klein back to a cutting Flanagan at the middle, and it's off the post, maybe off the stick of Philhauer in net. HSC is on the run.
Yeah, nice patience by Klein there to find Flanagan on the flank. But a great stop by Phil Howard to give the Royals a chance here in their attacking end.
Good passing by the Royals. Trying to get one more pass and then a shot, but a good save. Pape gets rid of that one. And a fight for the ground ball picked up by none other than Gabby Deere.
Yeah, hard ride there by Deere. Well-earned ground ball.
And Coach Bellflower wanted Deere to hold the ball, reset things. Look to have some numbers early on going in transition, but wants to, again, get this offense in order.
Yeah, considering they're dominating the draws 3-0 right now and having a nice ride on the back end, Guerin can afford to step back here for a second, see what the HSC defense is going to give them, and begin their attack.
That HSC defense has found a little bit of life, or they've been able to respond well after giving up the 2 early goals.
Yeah, over 6 minutes since the last Guerin goal. Couple of shots in that time, but HSC's hanging tough.
Deere on the far side, trying to sneak in, a quick shot, back towards the net. Four minutes left to go in this opening frame. It's been a majority of that time spent on the south end of the field. Guerin Catholic on the attack.
All things considered, if I'm HSC, I'm not feeling too bad. 7 shots by the Golden Eagles so far, and only 2 have found the back of the net, and only 1 free position, which is tough to do against this speedy, top-dodging team. Let's see if they can hold here.
Forward. 2 girls fall over, nothing called. Ball is still loose, and then taking some high contact was Emma Reichert.
Yeah, they're on the far side. That block charge is hard in any sport. So the referees are going to be looking for who initially made contact and if the defenders had already stood their ground in that space.
Reichert gets the edge, slings it forward, HSC. Good pass. Good defense by Guerin Catholic. The shot coming in from Reagan Janes. Someone got the deflection.
Nice little piece of teamwork there by HSC. Great backup behind cage, and here backing up the shot yet again to give their attack another chance to strike.
Evelyn Armstrong had a look. She gets it back, and this time she'll score. Armstrong puts the first one on the board for HSC.
Goal by the Royals.
Good defense that exchanged into offense, and the Royals able to respond.
Yeah, Evelyn Armstrong, senior midfielder for these Royals. Another great season for her, 36 goals and 13 assists, so not a surprise that she was able to get HSC on the board.
For the Royals, number 8, Anna Silver.
See some of the Fishers players walking in now. Of course, the HSC Fishers rivalry remains strong in just about any sport they could play.
Yeah, not too long ago, the teams were still combined for girls lacrosse, so it's great that the sport is growing and the 2 high schools are back to being rivals again.
Another chance for HSC. Could they tie it here? A skip shot goes in. Sarah Gastineau ties things up at 2. And now the Royals with some well put together offensive drives.
Yeah, slow start on the attacking end for HSC. Guerin getting those 2 quick goals in that 11-10 minute range. A bit of a hold and a lull, and then HSC striking back here within mere minutes of each other to bring us to squares here with 2:25 left in the first.
Armstrong with the first goal, and then Gastineau adds that one. Going kind of cold in these past couple of minutes is Guerin Catholic after Caroline Ford's 2 goals. Final 2:20 in the first quarter. Off the draw, it's another win for HSE.
Well-fought ground ball series there. Bit of a high foul there on 13 is going to put HSE on the 8-meter for the first time this evening.
Clear violation.
Boy, it's been Gastineau lately who's, if she has that ball, she is off and running. She's a blur. And now the free position, HSE a chance to take the lead. Another shot, another goal. Gastineau
Goal by the Royals.
puts her second one into the back of the net. And that'll make it 3-2 Royals.
And if you're Guerin Catholic right now, you're going to say to yourself, okay, that was fun. Let's refresh. Let's start over. 2 minutes left in this first half. Little things first, working on that draw and try to see if they can put it in the back of the net.
To the Golden Eagles, it's number 7, Claire Flanagan, for the draw.
So now the momentum, more life, felt on the side of the Royals. Another battle between Flanagan and also Silver, but the whistle will hand things over to the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, great speed there off the draw by HSE. Not quite sure what took place. Maybe a bit of a high check there in the background, and the ball is with the Guerin Eagles moving into the attacking zone.
Flanagan will bring things across and now slow things down. The final 80 seconds, we'll see how Guerin opts to work and the remaining time of this first quarter. They've given up 3 unanswered goals to the Royals. Now they turn things over.
Really strong crash there by HSE. You could see that Guerin had a kind of an overload on that lower right side, looking for that top dodge, maybe trying to draw shooting space, and it just didn't work.
Reese Bradley's pass picked off by Sophia Galvin. Sophia, a senior. Isabella also in the starting lineup, a junior.
Dad Gary on the sideline as an assistant coach, so big night in the Galvin family here tonight.
It's a family affair, usually. You'll find a pair of cousins or sisters that have, some have graduated, and then the younger ones come in. We get a whistle on the drive here.
You can see on that crease roll, Gabby Deer tiptoeing that crease line. Had a little help getting into that crease. The push call called on the far side, so she's going to have a free position on that hanging hash. Not an ideal place to shoot, but Deer's got the speed.
Deer trying to use that speed. She stays patient again, and there's a goal. So Guerin Catholic able to answer right back. Gabby Deer gets one to squeak by for her first.
We're not at a 3 with 18 seconds left in the first quarter.
Quite the tiptoe there by Deer. Those can be really difficult for a goalie. Once you're up there, stick to stick, a nice quick fake, and Deer finds the back of the goal.
We expected fireworks, and we've got them. Each team putting in 3 goals. Now, 18.3, not a lot of time, but we've seen some goals, just like from last night, scored with less time on the clock.
Yeah, we like to say it takes about 7 seconds to score a goal in women's lacrosse, and you can throw faster than you can run. So let's look for some quick passing here this last little piece of the quarter.
The ever so important draw at midfield. Making sure everything looks good. That's ripped out in the air. Flanagan went after it, picking it up. Before the whistle was Olivia Bradley, but it will be Flanagan using that speed. Another shot, and right on cue. That took 15 seconds. It's Claire Flanagan, the sophomore. That's her first.
That clock ticking down made me a little bit nervous, but Flanagan got it off. We had a great goal last night that came at the buzzer, was disallowed because of a foul. So great to see them use that clock to their advantage.
It's a nice spark to end this first quarter. Of course, pending something crazy here off this draw, but 3.3 on the clock. A pretty evened out first quarter. Each team going on a little bit of a run. It was 2 goals to begin for Guerin. HSC came in with 3 consecutive. And then the Golden Eagles topped off the first quarter with 2 to take a 4-3 lead into the second quarter. We'll step aside. We'll bring that second quarter to you when we come back. Class 2A Semi-State Girls Lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Not here to just sell you another piece of software. We're here to helping you procure the licensing, manage and monitor those licenses over time.
Collaboration is very key when working with our clients. We are very much a partnering organization. We definitely work as a team to deliver solutions for our customers.
We're here to build relationships with customers, which is unique.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and our parents work in road construction. Every day they head out to make our roads safer and better for you. But did you know work zone deaths have increased 63% since 2010?
Wow, that's a lot. Please slow down and pay attention when you see all those orange signs. When you do, you're helping to keep our parents and everyone who works on the roads safe. Thanks for looking out for us.
This message is brought to you by your friends at Highway Safety Services. Stay safe.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience. We've got incredible specials, great service. Everything that we do here is made from scratch. We hand-cut all our steaks in-house. Bring your family, come have some great food.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
The second quarter about to get underway from Noblesville High School in Beaver Materials Field. Jarrett Lewis along with Coach Laura Rogers. It's a 4-3 advantage for Guerin Catholic over Hamilton Southeastern after 12 new minutes up on the scoreboard. And a correction on one of those goals that we thought was scored by Sarah Gastineau actually goes to Reese Bradley, who is number 12, Gastineau 22. So from our vantage point, we were close. We want to give credit to Bradley on one of those goals that went in for Guerin Catholic. Excuse me, for Hamilton Southeastern, who trails 4-3. We'll start the second quarter. Goalies switch sides. Now the Golden Eagles will go from right to left.
Yeah, quarters are new for high school girls lacrosse as of last year, only the second year playing this 4-quarter instead of 2-half format. So I feel like teams and coaches are still kind of getting into that groove. It's nice because it allows a little extra time out in there, but also requires a little more time management.
At the other end for HSC, good pass. That's pretty good offense. Started by Evelyn Armstrong, and finishing it off is Reagan James.
Yeah, heads up play there by Armstrong to find the streaking James there on the strong side to bring us back to a 4-4 tie, fresh into the second period.
trading goals back and forth, and goals scored early in the quarters. Saw that last night, already seen it here tonight. Within the first minute, whoever gets possession on that opening draw at midfield.
Yeah, not sure what Coach Flagel offered during that quarter timeout, but clearly it was a great speech as we've got our second draw control in a row for the Royals.
And they have certainly responded in that category after Guerin Catholic. They put 2 in early, right off of draws. Can they take the lead? They cannot. A ricochet and a ball that hits a Guerin Catholic player in the head. Someone for HSC gets hit in the head. The whistle will go against the Golden Eagles.
Good initial look there by Gastineau with the high save and redirection. But that trash in the 8 picked up by the Royals. Subsequent foul. And Gastineau's back on the 8-meter.
Here she is again, top of the key. That one skips in. So there's the second official goal for Gastineau. She and Ford on the other side, each with 2 to lead their respective teams, and the Royals have the lead.
Royals 2 for 2 on free position, so you gotta like that.
Neither team allowing the other to sneak away. The largest lead, just 2 so far for Guerin Catholic. HSC off to a terrific start in this second quarter, about a minute and a half in. On the draw again, Flanagan and Silver. Picked up by Ford. Ford had the hot hand early. Gets beyond 2 defenders. May take it all the way.
Nice competitive 50-50 draws here to start the game. That circle play is going to be crucial as we get deeper into this contest.
It's more of that Golden Eagle patient offense. As now we see some movement. Deer gets the corner, stays patient again, and just finds that opening, waiting for a reaction from Philhauer. And then Deer puts it into the back of the net, in between the posts. That's her second goal.
We're knotted at 5 with 9:50 to play here in the first half.
Another excellent tightrope walk there by Gabby Deer, finding that inside roll, tiptoeing, and then looking for that far right-hand shot for her second goal of the night.
Back out of midfield, number 7, Flanagan for the Golden Eagles. Number 8, Silver for the Royals for the draw.
Silver and Flanagan going back at it. We're knotted up at 5. This could be a similar type of game to when these two teams played last. That was a little over a month ago, April 24th, a 12-10 win for Guerin. Could we see more goals this time around? As the season progresses, you kind of feel like you mesh better offensively. We saw a lot of goals scored last night, and if you just look at the schedule, the last 5 or 6 games that both of these teams have played, I mean, they're putting up numbers close to 20, sometimes eclipsing 20 goals.
Yeah, and 5-5 already with 9 to play in the second half. I think we'll eclipse the goal title from last time, and that will help Sarah Gastineau on the cross 8 cut and dodge there. Nice little finish.
An early hat trick for Gastineau. And we thought we would say her name, see her with the ball a lot. And that has been the case already. 6-5 now, HSC back with the lead. But these two teams, they're just kind of playing around a little bit with the lead, going back and forth. They don't mind trading jabs.
For the Golden Eagles, that's number 10, Caroline Ford. Going against number 8, Anna Silver.
Silver will stay in for HSC, but this time it's Caroline Ford, the sophomore, who will be at midfield for the draw. Silver will win it, but picked up by Deer. Deer splits the defense, and another patient shot. This time Philhauer was ready for it. Picked up by Guerin's Ella Capaferi.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Guerin hasn't pushed those fast breaks a little bit more. They've got a nice speedy midfield, so wasn't surprised that they pushed there and went in to take a quick look at goal.
Deer sees a double, defender falls down. And I think Deer said she got hit around the shoulder.
Yeah, that's a hard slide to make. As a defender, you want to use that 8-meter line and kind of escort the attacker up and out of that 8-meter, keeping that door to the crease closed tightly.
Deer has to retreat. Now goes back for more. Spins into the defense. Outside towards Flanagan, and a whistle here. This time it'll be Flanagan who will have the free position.
Heads up play there by Claire Flanagan. Gabby Deer did a nice job of re-attacking to the goal, causing that crash to come. Quick kick out to the top side to draw the shooting space for Flanagan.
Flanagan shoots it early, and it gets by Philhauer. Flanagan has her second, so now 3 different scores for Guerin Catholic, all with 2 goals. Ford, Deer, and now Flanagan.
And Guerin Catholic, little balance here. 6 goals total, 3 of those from free positions and 3 of those off either the crease roll from Deer or attack from up stop. So pretty balanced attack so far from the Golden Eagles.
Number 8, Anna Silver for the Royals.
Back to Silver and Ford in the middle. A lot of clouds this evening, but just a little bit of light coming in from the sun, setting in the west. HSC had it for a moment, but Deer says, I'll take this, thank you very much. Going the other way. Dishes it over to Jane Klein, one of a decent group of seniors on this Guerin Catholic squad. 7 of them to our count.
Yeah, a bit of an overload there on the right side, working left to right. Now that overload's going to shift out. Looking for a topside dodge opportunity perhaps for Caroline Ford. Cutter's creating some space. But Ford content to take it behind the crease and take a look.
More patience from Guerin Catholic. Good pass. Ford gets the assist. Klein gets the goal. Guerin Catholic retakes the lead. You have a really just a good group of seniors that we've mentioned already, and Deer, and then Galvin is in that group. Jane Klein is a senior, and then some really sensational sophomores, and Klein, one of those who just scored.
Yeah, nice little play design there by the Golden Eagles. We say if you see their ponytail, make a cut, because as a defender you have to have your head on a swivel, seeing both ball and girl. So head got turned just a little bit. Guerin saw the chance to make that backside cut for a nice clean finish.
Klein joins the scoring party. The senior with Gabby Deer, a senior who had the ball there for a second. It was ripped away by Gastineau. A game of little mini runs. HSC had their fun. Now Guerin Catholic wants to get back into their usual ways.
Yeah, and with that draw play right there, unofficially looks like we're back 6-6 on the draw. So that circle play is going to continue to be critical.
Ford, one of those awesome sophomores for Coach Bellflower. Deer waiting for something to progress. Everybody on the left side. Deer will take it right, and she'll score. So it looked like a little ISO action for Gabby Deer. She takes advantage with her speed, and combined with her shot-making ability, that's a real hard player to keep in front of you.
Yeah, and that's tricky as well, because with the push-through of the Guerin Catholic players leaving that right side open, there's no HSE defender available to slide to that right hand of Deer to help out in that shot, which leaves goalie Ellie Philhauer kind of on her own island. So nice finish there by Deer.
This will tie the largest lead of the game so far, just at 2. HSE has been able to respond following Guerin Catholic goals. Ripped out. Gastineau going after it, trying to shield Deer, which she does, forces the holding call on Deer.
Yeah, a little tangle up in the legs there, not allowed to block somebody's path to the ball. So Gastineau is going to carry into the attacking zone.
Gastineau trying to do it all herself to start this offensive possession. Nice pass on a good cut, just couldn't keep it in, was Bradley. Luckily, Regan James is there. James overshoots her girl. Picked up by Agati. Agati can't hold on to it, though. There goes Reichert. Pass off the stick of Edie Fisher. Fisher tiptoeing with the line, but can't keep it in play.
Yeah, a little jumpy here on the HSE attack. Some uncharacteristic mistakes. They just got to take a breath, settle in, and try to get this back 1 goal at a time.
4.5 minutes to play. Some directions from the Guerin Catholic sideline.
Not a ton of substitutions coming in on either side of the field tonight, so we'll see if that'll be a factor down the stretch.
Caroline Ford will exit for the moment. Looks like she changed sticks.
Yeah, not sure if there's a technical issue there, although there are draw sticks in girls lacrosse. There's kind of a different shape in the pocket, so you may see an athlete take the draw with 1 stick and then run off in exchange for a stick more designed for scooping and shooting. So not out of the ordinary.
A chance to catch their breath. Ford was able to get a quick breather with the exchange, and now here she is with it behind the cage. Pass to Deer, looking for a cutting player, can't connect. Scooped up by Cammie Carter. Flanagan lost it and gets it back.
The sun has just peeked out for the first time tonight, so I'm curious if some of these passes and little miscues have to do with the visual field here in Noblesville tonight. You always worry about that, especially for goalies. Sun in the eyes for the goalies, and looking to pass to weak side if the sun's in your eyes. So minor adjustments need to be made.
See if that affects Philhauer at all. It's Flanagan dancing up top with Brandon Berg of HSC for the moment. Now Ford gets it back. Guerin Catholic taking off now 2 minutes. They started the possession at 4.5, around that mark. Deer trying to work around everybody. Here's a whistle. It'll go against the Royals.
Yeah, shooting space to call from the trail official there. You have to be closely marked and slide leading with your stick in order to safely defend. Since we don't have the helmets and the pads and all the things that the men enjoy, that is a safety call in women's lacrosse.
Can Deer score again? She tried to skip it in, but Philhauer cleans it up. Philhauer will sling it up the field to Gastineau. Not picked up cleanly yet. Now it is Brandenburg. Nice pass. One girl to beat and knocking her over. That was Fisher. They're going to call a charge on Edie Fisher. That had the makings of a rare kind of fast break look for HSC, but good defense by Guerin Catholic.
I'm sure Fisher's eyes were as big as saucers when she saw that she had the one-on-one or possibly one-on-none there, and just turned a little too quickly, didn't see the Guerin defender there, and we've got a charge headed the other way.
So the Golden Eagles in this 2-goal lead, the final 60 seconds approaching.
Final minute of the first half.
Guerin seems content to maybe let this clock wind just a little bit. Perhaps hold for 1, maybe even 2 goals here in the last minute. Shooting space, the call.
Shooting space violation
on the deep trail official. Another slide into the legal shooting path of number 20. So Jane Klein with a chance on the first inside hash.
Klein at 45.1 on this second quarter clock. Could make it a 9-6 advantage. She will not. Philhauer, another great save. Trying to clear things out. HSC will get a chance to do that. Brandon Berg slings over to Reichert. 30 seconds for HSC. Could they get one more in before the first half buzzer goes off?
Fans in the stands letting the Royals know that the time is little. Shot by Edie Fisher. Turned away by the Golden Eagles.
Perfect save. Papai. 10 seconds. We'll head the other way. Could Guerin Catholic sneak one in? Sophia Galvin with 3. Up the field, and the pass over the head of her teammate, Cammie Carter. First half comes to a close. Some excitement there. Fans on both sides pleased with both the offensive and defensive play of their teams. It's Guerin Catholic with the advantage, 8-6. We'll put 7 minutes up on the halftime scoreboard. And then we'll continue on, a chance to head to the state championship game this Saturday to take on the defending state champs in Carmel. So we kind of mentioned it already. A mini run here, then you get a turn, then you get a run, and kind of a little bit of a back and forth. Ultimately, that initial start, I think, by Guerin Catholic kind of proven to be the difference with those 2 early goals and 4 different girls able to score for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, so Guerin pretty even in their scoring. 4 in the first quarter, 4 in the second quarter. 3 of those off of free position. Like I said, Guerin's playing a little bit slower than I would have expected, but they're an experienced team, have made obviously deep playoff runs, if not state championships in the last several years. So I'm sure Coach Bellflower is trying to throttle that energy to make sure they've got enough gas in the tank to take this one home.
And then on the other side, Sarah Gastineau, one of the seniors, has half of the 6 goals for HSC. The Royals definitely not out of it, but looking to go on another one of those runs and take the lead right back. Pretty good game, as expected. High scoring. We'll expect more of that in that second half coming up on the other side. 8-6 is the halftime score. Guerin Catholic leads things over Hamilton Southeastern. This is 2A semi-state girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Big play here for Mount Vernon. Ertl looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off, and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt. Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Check in on the Guerin Catholic sideline during this halftime frame. Coach Bellflower going over some things before we begin the second half from Noblesville High School. Coach Laura Rogers with you. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Thanks for joining us on Indiana SRN. 8 goals for the Golden Eagles. Leading things for them, Gabby Deere with 3, 2 apiece for Caroline Ford and Claire Flanagan. And then Jane Klein added in 1. HSC led by Sarah Gastineau with 3, and then 1 apiece for Armstrong, Bradley, and James. Scoring for the Royals. So each team kind of just trading goals. 2 here for you, 2 here for you. A little bit of back and forth action. What, if any, type of changes do you make if you're especially HSC, I guess, being at a disadvantage? I mean, their offense appeared to kind of figure things out even after giving up the 2 opening goals, and were able to respond anytime Guerin Catholic scored. Do you make any sort of dramatic changes, Coach?
Just a couple of things that are even across the board that are showing up on the scoreboard. 11 shots unofficially for Guerin Catholic, 9 for HSE. But where we're seeing a little bit of an issue is in that free position game. Guerin Catholic had 5 in the first half to HSE's only 2. So just like basketball, anytime you can get to that free throw line, you want to do it. So HSE maybe needs to tighten up that defense a little bit, stop giving up those shooting space calls, because the last thing you want to do is put some of these talented Guerin Eagle shooters on that line.
Phil Hauer, the goalie for HSC, will head to our right, the south end of the field. And Audrey Papai, the goalie for Guerin Catholic, stays in net.
That's number 10, Caroline Ford.
Caroline Ford will be a part of the opening draw in the second half for Guerin Catholic. And for HSC trying to rip it away. Regan Janes. Opening draw. Won by Ford and Guerin Catholic. They'll go from left to right. Again, the winner of this one will play Saturday right back here on this field for the 2A state championship game, scheduled to start at 1:30. Carmel Greyhounds awaiting the winner. We'll have one more game for you this evening between Brownsburg and Fishers. In the other 1A semi-state matchup, we saw Castle and St. Joseph yesterday, with the Huskies of St. Joseph up in South Bend winning that one to advance to the state championship game.
Yeah, starting to see some Carmel, both players and coaches in the stands tonight, taking a look at what Saturday has to hold for them.
We would have been okay if they stayed home and maybe watched the broadcast. That would have worked out well, but if you want to be here in person, that's great too.
You know, they're going to watch this film more than once anyway, so shout out to all the coaches scouting film tonight.
A shot on goal off the free position will fall for Jane Klein. Klein has her second. It's a pretty good start to this second half. If you're the Golden Eagles, you win the draw. You get a free position off the HSC violation. It's the largest lead at 3 goals for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, quick yet methodical start there for Guerin. We are seeing Caroline Ford there on the draw. She is using a draw stick. We've clearly seen that switch a couple times now. So they're content to let her make that exchange on the sideline and then wait for her to set up the attack.
How big of an advantage is that if you're using that draw stick? It's another win for Ford, and then she'll look to exchange into a new stick. So this offense will wait for her. They'll stay patient. It proves to be working, using that stick to win the draws.
You know, when it works, and it's more often if you have 2 draw sticks going against each other, it kind of negates the power. But if you've got one with a crafty veteran using it, that really can change the game.
It could prove to be one of those minor details that pays off big time for Guerin Catholic. We get a whistle here. Chance for the Golden Eagles to get into double digits on the scoreboard and take a 4-goal lead. They'll start things with Deere towards the end zone. An interesting angle going at the cage.
Yeah, the foul occurred, and they're taking her to the dot. The dot is 8 meters away from goal line extended there on the end. Serves as a starting point for minor fouls in that critical scoring area.
Ford started that engine and then kind of backed things off, and now here she goes again. Another whistle against HSE.
Again, great patience by Caroline Ford on that attack. Backing up, re-attacking, and drawing that shooting space for the second free position already in this young second half.
This is a crucial spot for HSC. That one low at the feet of Philhauer, but she digs it out and then sends things up the field towards Brandenburg, who will be able to pick it up and dish off to one of the speedsters in Reichert.
Reichert carrying it into the Royals, attacking in as the rest of the squad trickles in, and they set up their first solid possession of this second half.
We saw responses typically from the Royals off of Golden Eagles goals. Can they do it again? A nice save by Papai in net. Difficulties getting rid of it initially, still looking for someone to dish it off to.
Yeah, Papai the junior, not a ton of experience, played behind goalie Ruth Abdallah. Shout out to Ruth as she and her team at Middlebury College won the Division III national title over the weekend. So a national title winner coming back here to Noblesville.
Middlebury in Connecticut. We mentioned some of the D1 talent yesterday on both Carmel and Chittard. A couple of girls here. They're going to go to the next level. And, boy, Caroline Ford is looking awfully strong. That's her third goal. Makes it 10-6 now, Guerin Catholic.
Flag on that play as well, so had she chose to, she could pull it out or drop the ball and go back to that free position, but had enough inertia ahead of steam to goal and was able to put it in the back of the net, which brings up our first timeout by HSE.
Yeah, the Royals burn the timeout. They trail by 4 goals. It's the largest lead of the night. We'll come back. We'll check out maybe what the discussion is amongst the officials, but nonetheless, the Golden Eagles lead things 10-6, 7:38 left to go in this third quarter on IndianaSRN.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
The HSC huddle with Coach of the Royals, Steffi Flagel, along with assistant coaches Neil Fisher, John Kim, trying to get the girls in order as they trail in the largest lead of this game for Guerin Catholic. The Royals don't want to see it grow any more than what it's at. You'd be in dangerous waters. Both teams break. We see towards the background beyond the away stands, the Brownsburg squad getting themselves warmed up, and Fisher's also getting ready for that second game that we'll have for you here on the network later on this evening.
And if I'm HSE right now, I'm just talking to my coaching staff, trying to figure out how do we solve a problem, and that problem is Caroline Ford on this draw. 2 for 2 in the second half, and possession is gold. So let's see if they've come up with any way to try to negate her power in this move.
Yeah, winning draws is where it starts, and Ford has been good at that. We do get a whistle and possession given to HSE. Looks like the Royals were using a draw stick also, and that gets exchanged out for Evelyn Armstrong.
Yeah, a couple different methods to that madness. Sometimes you'll switch a player on field, maybe a defensive player whose stick doesn't matter quite as much. Switch with them and then they'll switch, or as we've seen tonight, just run it off yourself, make the switch, and be content to hold for just a moment.
Gastineau can't pick it up cleanly. Sophia Galvin with the steal. Galvin over to Klein, a collision. Both players seem to be all right. We'll give it back to Galvin. And more offense upcoming for Guerin Catholic. We're in the third quarter. Out of the timeout from HSC after Guerin Catholic has put up 2 goals this quarter. They led 8-6 after the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, kind of a weird spot here in the third, because if you're HSC, you know you need the ball, you want to go get it, but it's still so early in the second half. It's hard to play that high-pressure defense for that long in the game. So they're content here just to sit back a little bit and wait for Guerin to come to them.
A whistle from one of the officials. 3-second violation appears to be the call, so Flanagan will hold on to it.
Yeah, so on 3 seconds, think the opposite of basketball. The defender cannot be in that 8-meter arc without being within 1 stick's length of an offensive player marking them. It keeps you from being able to basically build a wall in front of the goal for safe shooting. So a rare call, but it comes in.
It ends up working out for Guerin Catholic. Flanagan adds another. Give her 3. She joins the club of Ford and Deere that each have 3 goals. 11-6 now is the Golden Eagles lead.
Flanagan, another one of those super sophomores for Guerin Catholic. So future looks bright.
Yeah, Flanagan's in that group. Caroline Ford, who's also scored. Ella Capofari, who we've mentioned. Also, sophomores that'll certainly be back and have an impact for Coach Bellflower. But this senior leadership also getting things done for the Golden Eagles. See, the signal is it's going to be given to the Royals, so Reese Bradley will pick things up near side, crosses midfield, and picked up by Flanagan.
Looked like they called a false start there on the draw on Armstrong, who switches her stick and joins her teammates down on the, false start on Guerin rather. Armstrong switching out and joining her team on the attacking end.
Reichert find a teammate, Bradley, with a nice cut right in front of the cage, but it's good defense by the Golden Eagles. Deere in open space.
Couple little swings in the midfield there. You want to get close enough to make some contact to try to slow down that Guerin midfield, but not actually have the hard foul.
And yet still, the Golden Eagles, they like just kind of mellowing out, seeing what the defense gives them. They're really spreading things out here in within the 30 yards.
Yeah, with a 5-goal lead, they're like, okay, come and get it, because they know should they advance on from this night, they need to save some legs for a tough matchup with Carmel on Saturday, should that come to fruition. So little cat and mouse here from the Golden Eagles. Again, no shot clock in girls high school lacrosse. We do have a 90-second shot clock in the collegiate game, but yeah, here in high school, make it, take it, and keep it as long as you'd like.
Ford will keep it, working things around with Klein, Flanagan, and Deere. 4 of the main attackers for the Golden Eagles. Deere, nice pass, and that one will go through for Lucy Esposito. Esposito scores for the first time. I believe that was her first touch, perhaps, too.
Yeah, don't think we've called her name yet, but nice little play there by Guerin Catholic. When you're holding the ball in that kind of soft possession stall, it's sometimes easy to kind of lull that defense into, kind of a false sense of security. Got the ball moving quickly for a nice little assist coming off the backside.
Kind of a double whammy against HSC because those seconds tick off. Guerin Catholic kind of lures you a little bit with a drawn-out possession, and then all of a sudden they're attacking. You don't think about Esposito, and there she is, a quick trigger off the Deere pass. And Guerin Catholic has all of a sudden doubled up HSC 12-6.
Yeah, 4 goals here in the third versus 0 for the Royals. So a fast yet methodical start and finish here in the third for Guerin Catholic.
You can sense now, too, just a restless HSC sideline. Empty possession there off the draw. Royals unable to do anything, and now Guerin Catholic back into another similar formation. 2:20 left to go in this third.
As a coach, you're in that danger zone where you want to keep the wheels on the bus, right? You feel the little trip up there. You feel things starting to shake apart, but want to stay within striking distance. So just figuring out what's that next little thing you can do to stop the bleeding and right the ship as we head towards the fourth.
That was Deer that got tripped up. She has it back. Her and Esposito, who tries to save it on that yellow line. She was out of bounds when she touched it.
Yep, you can hold the ball over the line, but your feet must be inside when playing it. So, unfortunate little turnover there on the sideline for the Guerin Catholic Eagles.
Dangerous pass, but it sneaks through to Janes. The Royals would like to get at least one goal, maybe a couple of shot attempts in this final 1:05 now on the clock, but they turn it over. Not on the same page. Gastineau not ready for it.
Yeah, only one shot for HSC here in the third quarter, whereas Guerin has had 4 and earned three free positions already. So those are tough numbers to overcome.
Final 40 seconds. I think the Golden Eagles won't. Well, and spoke too soon as Flanagan gets called for the charge, running over Bradley. They'll stop the clock here to give the Royals a chance to start with it. Bradley will pick it up.
I was just about to say we'll probably see Guerin hold until about that 10-second mark, but HSC stands tall and forces the turnover.
HSC, they got to go. 10 seconds for Bradley. Gets it off to Gastineau, but not cleanly. The Royals need to get a shot off. Looks like it's not going to happen. The steal by Galvin. That's how the third quarter will come to a close. The Golden Eagles tack on 4. HSC only able to get 1 shot attempt in that quarter. The final 12 minutes, the Golden Eagles trying to go back to the 2A state championship game that'll be played here Saturday night. 2A semi-state action right here on IndianaSRN.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at Indiana.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Get a gator that will get you where you need to go. Something you can get in and go with plenty of space. Be ready to tackle any terrain, large or small. When you choose Reynolds, you choose reliability. A guaranteed great customer experience and relationship from the moment you walk in. Come in and see for yourself or visit reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
A trip to the 2A state championship game on the line. Guerin Catholic coming out firing out of their halftime frame. 4 goals in that third quarter to extend their lead. And HSC unable to score, so it'll be a tall mountain to climb for the Royals to try to get back into this one. Guerin Catholic, you could sense, just really in a groove, sticking to the strategy that we saw to open up the frame, where they win the draws at midfield with Ford, and then they exchange out sticks, and the attack team of her, along with Deere and Flanagan, have extended this lead for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, Guerin Catholic clearly in the driver's seat, and another draw control for them. Gabby Deere carrying in. No quick strike comes, and they'll set up their attack.
Yeah, right on cue. You win the draw. You wait for Ford to get the different stick, and you just kind of work things around the perimeter before finding a nice crease for an attack or a cutting player to put a shot on goal. HSC, the defense, will have to more than likely prevent Guerin Catholic from scoring to have a chance. Here's another good pass to Esposito, who tacks on another one. That's a hard pass to get off. I believe it came from Flanagan. Second goal for Esposito tonight, 13-6 Golden Eagles.
Yeah, farther pass than we're used to seeing there. Almost a skip pass coming from the strong side to the cutting Esposito, tiptoeing the crease there for the nice clean finish. So Guerin Catholic putting it in the back of the net in a variety of different ways tonight.
I believe it's been at least 3 quarters, maybe all 4, where Guerin Catholic has scored in the first minute, maybe the first 90 seconds at least. They do it yet again in the fourth. HSC, unfortunate for them, have gone cold.
Nice little draw to self there by Evelyn Armstrong. Kicks it forward to her attack. They got to be in go mode.
That was a good pass on the cut. A better save for Papai. Papai looking to clear. She sends it over to Grayson Navarro, who flings it upfield. Sophia Galvin.
You're in a tricky spot here because HSC needs to be aggressive. They need that ball back, but also aggressive D, unfortunately, can lead to more of those free positions, which have been almost automatic tonight for Guerin Catholic. So, kind of a tightrope here for the HSC D.
Carmel coaches and players, those here, those watching, keeping a close eye on how this Guerin Catholic team is looking.
Yeah, their game is kind of a highlight. It was on a week of spring break where a lot of schools were out, but both Guerin and Carmel were in, so the lacrosse community flocked to that game, both in person and on the online stream, to take a look at what appears to perhaps be yet another rematch in the title game on Saturday. A 1-goal game back in early April.
A little bit of a desperation mode activated for HSC as Guerin Catholic, you can see, feeling good about their position. They can hold on to this one as long as they can. The cutting Klein sends things back. This is one of those situations kind of similar to basketball. You have this lead, you're in a position where the other team is going to have to get desperate, so it's either free throws or layups, to speak. So in lacrosse terms, if you get openings and easy shots, that's all you really want, or you just try to burn as much clock as you can.
Yeah, not having that shot clock in the high school game is a blessing or a curse, depending on which side of the ball you're on right now. If you're Guerin, the law states you can, and you're content to hold for pretty much as long as you would please. But if you're HSC, you're like, oh, I almost wish there was something to force them to take a shot. But that's not the game we have right now or in front of us, so HSE is going to have to do the hard work of going after that ball.
Agati was looking to clear it, get it over midfield, but she'll see Coach Bellflower call a timeout. The Golden Eagles setting up their plan for the final 8:28 of this fourth quarter to hold on to this 7-goal lead and advance to the state championship game. We'll step aside with them. 13-6 our score from Noblesville.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
The Royals of Hamilton Southeastern trying to find new life and go on one of those runs that they were able to go on in the first and second quarters, but have not scored in this second half as they trail 13-6, a trip to the 2A state championship game on the line. Thanks for joining us. Coach Laura Rogers is here. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This is game 1 of 2 this evening from Noblesville and Beaver Materials Field. Our next one will feature Brownsburg, the Bulldogs, taking on the Fishers Tigers. That's in Class 1A, and the winner of that will have a date with the St. Joseph Huskies. That's the 1A state final game, which will be the final scheduled event for Saturday, starting at 4 p.m. The rest of your Saturday schedule, the Rising Stars game starts at 9. Then at 11:30, the Junior-Senior Showcase, followed by the 2A State Finals game, which will feature Carmel and the winner of this one, which at the moment appears to be Guerin Catholic if they can hold on for the final 8:28. Again, 1:30, the 2A State Finals game. 3 o'clock, awards for the Indiana Girls Lacrosse Association, followed by the 4 p.m. 1A State Finals matchup.
Yeah, great day of lacrosse. Each team can nominate 2 players to participate in both that Rising Star and Junior-Senior Showcase, along with the All-State and All-American awards that will be presented between those 2 championship games.
Out of the timeout, Guerin Catholic called it. They have possession. Caroline Ford gets a high stick around the face.
Card on 22 looks like Sarah Gastineau. Flew a little too close to the head of Ford there, so she's going to take a 2-minute timeout until 6:03 left here in the fourth. So Gastineau's one of their shooters, so that's a big loss for HSE right now.
Not what you need, but again, got to be a little more aggressive than normal. Force turnovers, get that ball to the other side of the field. It has been a time of possession domination for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, so now not only do you have the breaking of the quasi-stall, but you're also man down to do it, so you're shifting into more of a zone, but also needing to press out, so quite the puzzle here for the Royals.
Collision in front of the cage. HSC picks it up, but hounded is Grace Harper. It's a steal for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, when you're in that man-up situation, makes that ride all the easier, and the Golden Eagles take it right back.
HSC last scored in the second quarter. So they have gone 17 minutes at least. Nothing to show for in this second half. Forward working things around. Esposito's there. The rest of the scoring other than those two, everyone has multiple goals. Gabby Deere, Claire Flanagan, and also Jane Klein.
Yeah, and this is where that season's worth of work and some of that late season fatigue can also step in. A little fatigue there on the pass by Guerin. Unusual giveaway, maybe getting a little too complacent. You want to go to and through the ball on those passes.
Nice play by Klein, but then
a false start on the sideline. You need to come in and establish your presence on the field, so 2 feet onto the field and then self-start. So little misstep there by the Royals.
Harper, the guilty party, giving it back. Flanagan getting plenty of steps in.
Yeah, and breaking a stall is something teams practice at least a couple times a week, generally at the end of practice when you are starting to feel that fatigue. It's very difficult. Often we'll see teams push out and push out hard, and then once those players are gassed, they'll switch off from teammates on the restraining line to get, as you're seeing right now with Ellie Philhauer coming across the goalie, to try to get some fresh legs to go get that ball. So open cage here. Guerin content to continue. Run some circles despite the fact that that cage is wide open.
Desperate times, desperate measures. Philhauer stands at midfield at the 30. A free position awarded to Caroline Ford.
And as an attacker at heart, you see that empty goal and you're just like, may I please. But we know that that scored goal goes back to the draw, which is technically a 50-50 ball, although Guerin has owned that circle here in the second half.
They've owned that circle. They've owned the scoring. 8-6 was our halftime score. And an open goal for Ford, and she'll easily sling it through for number 4.
That's a goal for number 10, Caroline Ford. Her 4th of the night.
Believe it or not, it's actually been over 7 minutes since Guerin's last goal. Very content to keep that possession and really stay in the driver's seat in this game on their terms and stay as fresh as they can. As you can tell, they're beginning to look towards that Saturday showdown.
Carmel was able to get away from Chittard late in our game last night. A little bit of back and forth early on in that one. Carmel, though, did have a good start and then went on a nice run to really put an exclamation point on their game. Similar situation here with Guerin Catholic escaping, keeping things out of reach for HSC as we're closing in on the final 4 minutes of this one.
Yeah, the card has expired for HSC, so they're back to full strength. Yeah, Carmel had to work a little harder, a little longer last night than Guerin does tonight, but had the advantage of playing a day sooner, so they've got today to recover and take a nice live in-person look, or on IndianaSRN here at the Guerin Catholic Eagles. So
the two most recent state champions in Class 2A are going to meet up yet again. You can hear Coach Bellflower on the sideline. He wants another timeout. Might see some substitutions, get some new players in there with this 8-goal advantage. Ford leads things for the Golden Eagles with 4. Deere and Flanagan have added 3. Klein and Esposito have scored twice. And we talked about just how good Guerin Catholic has been on both ends of the field ever since their loss to Carmel back on April 1st. And their since that loss and this 8-game win streak that they've been on, they have scored at least 12 goals and are only giving up around 5 or 6 to their opponents, which is what they're at right now in HSE.
Yeah, and Guerin playing pretty clean tonight. No cards for the Golden Eagles, only have given up 2 free position attempts to the Royals, and that was early in the first half. So they've stayed clean, they've stayed upright, and that's only going to benefit them heading into the weekend.
Some girls to make note of if you are Guerin Catholic defensively. What we saw last night, 6 goals from Sophie Mock, one of the seniors of Carmel. 5 goals from Ellie Tamalia. Those two were really making things look easy at times in their matchup last night with Chittard. Brecken Hare added 4 also for Carmel. So a 3-headed monster attack for the Greyhounds, and all 3 of those girls are going to be playing at the next level. Following the end of this season, head coach Josh Miller of the Cromwell Greyhounds kind of sense that 2 teams that are very similar can score a lot of goals, and also just the defense is outstanding.
If you remember the final last year, I believe Guerin hopped out really strong to like a 6-goal lead. The rain came in, things were looking kind of bleak, and Carmel made some great defensive adjustments and came back for the win. So great rivalry these past few years. No love lost between the 2 teams, but many of the athletes do play together with each other in the off season on the club circuit, so they know each other well.
Just a brief stoppage for the moment. Under 3 to go. A little more of an overcast feel. It's got some dark clouds moving through. Hopefully no rain in the radar. Doesn't appear to be that way. Just going to be cloudy and in the mid-60s as we approach our 1A semi-state game coming up. Brownsburg and Fishers following the conclusion of this one.
Pretty great with lacrosse weather all in all. After Memorial Day, we usually see those temperatures rise, which makes that turf even hotter and that conditioning even more important. So these mild temperatures are being very kind to our athletes this week.
So Deere is still out there. Flanagan as well. Looks to be a...
Yeah, the key here near the end is knowing your clock rules. So the clock only stops under a minute when we're in that critical scoring area. So you'll likely see Guerin keeping their stall up above that 20-yard line, out of the critical scoring area. Whoop,
up until Deere
almost proved me wrong.
Deere thought about a score.
Took a look, but there was shooting space on the far side from referee April Sherman. So what will be interesting here with a minute to go is, will Deere take this shot, or will she hold and back out and be content to run out this clock?
The clock does reach that 1-minute mark, and Deere does retreat. No need to do anything crazy, but let the rest of this clock wind down, and also take the time to wind your bodies down. Get ready for Saturday night. The Guerin Catholic faithful who have showed up here are showing their appreciation. Quite the performance. We mentioned the goal scorers, but got to give some props to the junior Audrey Papai in goal, who really didn't see much action in this second half. Not many shot attempts from HSC. The ball has been on this side of the field for much of the second half. And, of course, no goals scored since that second quarter for the Royals.
Yeah, but hats off to HSC for returning to the Final Four after a couple-year absence. So they've got a great program over there with a large Mud Sox youth program, so I'm certain we'll see them back here soon.
And that's the final.
The girls in white.
Here at Peter Materials Field.
Time to celebrate. One game left for them to become state champions yet again. They did it in 2022 and 23. They advanced to the 2A state championship game set for Saturday afternoon. They will play the defending state champions in the Carmel Greyhounds.
Saturday at 1:30 p.m.
As you may have heard, 1:30 p.m. will be the start time for that one. Guerin Catholic and Carmel will prepare for our second game with Brownsburg and Fishers to decide what the matchup will be in Class 1A. Just real brief, Coach, we saw a lot of back and forth in that first half. HSE able to answer, but that run to begin the second half for Guerin Catholic, HSE unable to overcome it. The defense of the Golden Eagles just too much, and the firepower too from plenty of girls who got into the box score for Guerin Catholic.
Yeah, and we always say in lacrosse the middle matters most, and in this case the draw circle mattered the most in the second half. Caroline Ford masterful with her draw controls. HSE just didn't have the possessions, didn't have the shots, and that attack well ran dry in the second half.
Coming up, our 1A semi-state matchup, Brownsburg. The Bulldogs, who had impressive wins to get here over Roncalli and Columbus North. They will take on the Fishers Tigers, and we'll meet up. The winner will see St. Joseph in the 1A state championship game on Saturday. We'll step aside. Both teams will warm up, and we will get a starting time for this 1A semi-state game at around 8 o'clock. In the meantime, for Coach Laura Rogers, I'm Jarrett Lewis. We'll be right back. Semi-state girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.